Okay, this is the new CYMA M1, or maybe I should say M2 Carbine Springer, which has recently been released. You'll notice a few little details. It's got Phillips screws here and there on it. Of course, they wouldn't have had Phillips screws during World War II. It's got made in China here on the bayonet attachment. The magazine feels relatively solid. It is plastic, and again it's got Phillips screws all down one side of it. You could do various things with that, fill them over slightly, but that would stop you ever being able to strip it down. The speed loader for the magazine comes with a little angle attachment on the end, because when you look at the end of the mag, you've got to fit it in that sort of a manner, yeah, and that's how it's loaded. Now the gun itself, it's plastic stock. It's just a cheap Springer from China, but in terms of its general look, it's not so bad. It's got the usual sort of join line down the centre of the stock from back to the front, and yeah, the same can be said underneath the stock, but that's to be expected on plastic stock. The mechanism on it is all plastic. I think this part here, the actual cocking bolt or lever, I think that's actually alloy, so that's something at least, but the rest of the parts all appear to be plastic. The sights are probably alloy as well. You appear to have a windage adjustment on the sight. By adjusting that small screw there, you can wind the peep sight up and down, aperture sight up and down. You've also got left-right adjustments, windage. Probably not the best in terms of sights, but it is basically a dirt cheap gun. I think these are advertised on eBay USA for about $60–70, maybe even less. So you've got a hop adjustment just here, so up is adjust the wheel to the right, and down is over to the left. So what else? A little bit of rust on the metal there, but that doesn't matter much. It is painted. Now in terms of its performance, right, that's what I'm going to show you now. You've got a safety catch on here. If I put it in that position there, you can't pull the trigger. That position you can. Okay, so to load this up, we'll get some ammo and using this strange angled speed loader. In terms of its capacity, I'm not exactly sure how many it's holding. I'll give you some updates and put a pop-up on top of the video after we've posted it up. Now, popping the mag in seems to be quite easy. Should have the curve of the mag pointing forwards towards the barrel. Pop it in and there you go. Quite simple, no need to give it any smacks. Now in terms of cocking it, again, it's not too difficult to cock. It's got a reasonable bit of bit of a pull to it, but not excessive. You can actually cock it when it's up against your shoulder. Now this isn't particularly nice, this white cylinder and feed pipe. They could have made that out of black or grey, and that would have given a slightly nicer look to the mechanism inside, wouldn't it? You know, not much thought gone there, unless they're just trying to show that it is a toy by putting it in white plastic. Anyway, we can release that. Doesn't fly forward really hard and give you a lot of confidence that it's worked, but it has actually worked out. I've tried a mag through this, and it seems to do the job. You don't have to go back and actually push on the bolt to make sure it's gone all the way forward and located the BB correctly. Now I'm going to fire a few shots down the garden, and you're probably going to notice something a little bit not so great about this. Right, centre mass on the bin. I'll back it off a little bit so you can see where these actual shots end up going. Right, so I think I've just loaded that, so here we go. First shot. I think that went right over the top of the bin. Second shot, not that far off, went just slightly high and to the left on the bin. That one went off to the left and high. That one also high and left. Not really sure. High and left again. So we seem to be getting some sort of well, I would definitely say an inaccuracy to this thing. Maybe if I put the rifle on the other side. Let's see. Still aiming centre mass on the bin. All going left and high. So I'm going to put the hop down a little bit, and I'm going to try and adjust the sights. Still going left and high. Left and high. So hop down a bit. Left and high. Hop down more. Right and high. Seemed to be going central and then zoomed off all of a sudden in mid-air, as though there's something wrong with the hop. Left and high. Left and high. Drop the hop more. Left and high. It's out. It's now on minimum hop. Central and left. Central and left. It seems to just have this very weird trajectory to the shots. as though it's curving off to the left, like the hop unit is slightly biased to the left rather than being straight above the barrel. It seems to be making the shots curve off to the left, which is unusual. It's not something I've ever come across on a rifle, on an airsoft rifle I should say. So I have noticed a slight problem with this. If I point this down the barrel, let's see, we'll zoom this camera out, you can actually see down the barrel there now. Now this barrel, this outer barrel, appears to be steel. The reason I'm saying this is if you look in there, you can see rust in there. Let's see, let's zoom in there. You see inside there, there's actual rust in there, and there's also a MIG, well there's an electric welding line down the inside of the barrel, which does imply it's a steel barrel. Okay, one magnet. So yeah, it is actually magnetic. The front sight isn't magnetic, but the barrel is. And you can see they've got a brass barrel inside there. Where are we? Yeah, there's a brass barrel in there, and that's a steel outer barrel. Now you'll notice right in there there's actually a blob of weld. Can you see that? Just in there. And there's a small chance that the BBs might actually be hitting that little blob. Hard to say, but it's possible. Now the other problem with this is barrel flex. If we hold it here, watch this. How's that for barrel flex? So basically your sights are roaming all over the place around the barrel. There's no device for centering the barrel in and keeping it in alignment with the front sight. So that's not going to do a lot for accuracy. In terms of whether the actual barrel liner is rigid enough to stay in one position, I'm not sure. I'm guessing not. So it's not the most rigid of guns, but I suppose that's what you get for a very cheap Springer. Now I'm not saying that this rifle is to be avoided at all costs, and I think it does actually have some merit. It is a cheap Springer rifle, and I think with a little bit of work that it could be made to be half decent. In terms of the power that's coming out of it, it's probably nothing wonderful, but I'm guessing it probably is a shade over the 300 FPS. I could try firing at a can. Problem is, as it stands at the moment, I might have actual problem in hitting the can at a distance of around 30 feet. It's got it, as I say, it's got its merits. It's a cheap rifle, and I believe with a bit of work it could be fixed up so that it's half decent. But as it comes out the box, not so great. As I say, in terms of its looks, it's not bad. Now, in terms of if a reenactor wanted to just have it on the dashboard of the Jeep as an ornament, it doesn't look too bad. It is possible to import one of these for under £100, but you could also probably buy a die-cast and wood M1 Carbine for a similar sort of price, maybe a shade over £100. So even there again, not the best for actual reenactment, but if you think that you could use it for reenactment and World War II airsoft, then it is worth having a play with. From 15, well, from even 5 feet away, it doesn't look so bad at all. It's only when you actually come to fire it straight out the box that you'll notice its cheapness in terms of performance.
You see what's sending out them negative waves, did Moriarty?